Hello beautiful people. I do really want to apologize for missing on for so long. It's been a month and I really missed you. So now, without any further ado, let's get straight to the video. Enjoy! Hog 2.6 is one of the most popular cycle decks in Clash Royale, and also somehow considered one of the most skillful decks that has been causing problems for almost 7 years straight. With the addition of evolutions and heroes, it has become even more popular again, despite the fact that the core game plan hasn't really changed at all. Think of this matchup as a classic, almost like Barcelona versus Real Madrid in Clash Royale. It's a rivalry that has been going on for years, since both decks basically come from the same era of game's history. Alongside decks like Spellbait and 3.0 X-Bow, Hog 2.6 is one of those long-living archetypes that has defined multiple competitive metas. But when it comes to X-Bow, this matchup is heavily misunderstood. Some players think it's impossible, others think it's easy, but in reality it's a very structured matchup where execution decides everything. The problem is that most players approach it incorrectly. They either overcommit and get punished by hog pressure, or play too passively and never convert defense into a win condition. In this guide, I'll break down exactly how to approach it properly, from defense to timing to how to actually turn small advantages into consistent wins. Now that we've established the context of the matchup, let's break down what you're actually facing on the structural level. Even though Hog 2.6 looks simple, the modern version with evolutions and heroes has a few key variations that directly affect how you approach both defense and pressure. Understanding these differences is important because while deck's core identity stays the same, small changes in key cards can significantly shift how you need to play the matchup. Hog 2.6 is still built around the same core structure: Hog Rider, Cannon, Musketeer, Ice Golem, Skeletons, Ice Spirit, Log and Fireball. We all know that. That core identity hasn't changed for years: fast cycle, constant pressure, and efficient defense. However, the modern version introduces a few important variations through evolutions and heroes. The most important one is Musketeer, which can appear as either the standard version, Evo Musketeer, or Hero Musketeer. While Hero Musketeer is not as dominant in this matchup as Evo Musketeer due to its nerfs, it is still quite popular and provides extra survivability and defensive value, making it harder to break through cleanly in certain sequences. Then you have Hero Ice Golem. This card improves their ability to kite and control your X-Bow pushes. It makes their defense more forgiving and helps them reset situations much more easily. Finally, we have a set of evolutions that I would like to group together: Evo Skellies and Evo Cannon. They both play a crucial role in cycle control. They allow Hog 2.6 to constantly pressure you and maintain a fast rotation, which is one of the main reasons this matchup can feel so relentless if you fall behind in cycle. So while the deck looks identical on paper, these small variations make the matchup much more about cycle precision and defensive timing than it used to be. Now that we've broken down the structure of the deck, let's move into the most significant part of this matchup: the principles. This is where X-Bow versus Hog 2.6 is actually decided. It's not about single interactions, but about how you manage cycle, positioning, and timing across the entire game. First principle would be: always play opposite lane into Hog Rider. If you go the same lane, you give them direct value and lose control of the matchup very quickly. Do not get out cycle in single and early double elixir. One clean hog hit in the wrong time can put you in a losing position for the entire game. Avoid unnecessary X-Bow commitments. Every aggressive X-Bow must be justified, otherwise you give them free hog pressure and lose tempo. Use anti-spell placements for your defensive buildings, since both Log and Fireball matter a lot in this matchup and value control is crucial. Never rely on reactive cycling. You should actively cycle cards even when not at full elixir to keep Tesla and key defenses ready at the correct time. Track their cycle constantly, especially Cannon, Skeletons, Ice Golem, and Musketeer variations, so you always know when you can safely pressure. And finally, understand that defense is not just survival, it's a preparation for your next offensive window. Most of your wins come from recognizing momentum windows, not from forcing X-Bows. You pressure after clean defenses or when their cycle is slightly off. Don't overcommit into a full defensive cycle. If Cannon, Ice Golem, and Skeletons are ready, your X-Bow is almost never getting value. Look for out-cycle opportunities in double elixir, where small advantages in rotations can turn into real X-Bow damage. keep track of EVA Musketeer timing, since it is one of their strongest defensive tools against X-Bow, but it can be managed or blocked with Knight or Skeletons if you time your push correctly. Fireball is about initiative control, not spam. You usually don't want to be first, but you should punish high-value situations when they appear. And finally, once you start applying pressure, maintain structured sequences instead of single plays, forcing them into continuous defensive responses rather than resets. Now that we've covered the core principles, we can put everything into context by breaking the matchup down into phases. This is where all of the ideas, cycle control, defensive discipline, and offensive timing actually come together in real game situations. We'll go through single, double, and triple elixir and how your decision making should change in each stage of the match. In single elixir, the focus is purely on survival and cycle control. Hawk 2.6 will constantly apply pressure and try to outcycle your Tesla, so your goal is to stay disciplined, defend efficiently, and avoid any unnecessary risks. You're not looking to force X-bows here unless there is a very clear advantage. In double elixir, the matchup starts to open up slightly. This is where you focus on stabilizing completely and looking for structured offensive sequences. If you defend well and track their cycle, you can start finding X-bow opportunities where key defensive cards like Cannon or Musketeer are out of rotation. In triple elixir, the game becomes much more controlled and shifts into a spell cycle and perfect defense. Offensive X-bows become rare unless there is a very clear win condition window. At this stage, your priority is to defend flawlessly, avoiding giving hog hits, and slowly close the game through fireball and log value while maintaining full cycle control. Now that we've covered how the matchup flows through each phase of the game, we can focus on where X-bow actually wins games, the pressure opportunities. This is where everything comes together. Cycle tracking, defensive discipline, and timing all combined to create windows where you can take control of the game and start forcing them into uncomfortable defenses. The main idea behind X-bow pressure in this matchup is to recognize the right opportunity and seize momentum. You're not trying to constantly force plays. You're waiting for moments where their cycle is slightly off or their defensive structure is temporarily weakened. When this happens, you commit to a structured X-bow sequence to build an advantage, force inefficient responses, and prevent them from smoothly transitioning back into hog pressure. The biggest issue that you have to face while trying to punish Hawk 2.6 is not just Cannon, but their ability to constantly kite your X-bow with Ice Golem and cycle cards, which prevents consistent locks and resets your progress if you're not careful. Because of this, one of your key tools is placing Evo Archers high in the middle, allowing them to immediately pressure support units and reduce opponents' ability to freely kite or stabilize. A very important misconception is Tesla usage. In most cases, you do not want to play Tesla with your X-bow, because it exposes you to immediate hog pressure and gives them an easy way to punish your cycle. The only exception is when they directly respond to your X-bow with hog, forcing an immediate defensive interaction. The core idea is that pressure in this matchup comes from breaking their defensive rhythm over time, not forcing damage every single push. If you play correctly, you consistently turn defense into offense, create cycle advantages, and slowly remove their ability to apply clean hog pressure at all. Overall, Hawk 2.6 is not a matchup about flashy plays. It's about discipline, cycle control, and timing precision. If you stay patient in single elixir, stabilize properly in double, and only take your offensive windows when they are actually available, the matchup becomes very manageable for X-bow. Most games are decided not by big mistakes, but by small details. One cycle off, one misplaced Tesla, or one missed timing window. If you avoid those errors and consistently convert your defensive advantages into structured pressure, you will naturally take control of the matchup and close games reliably. And that's really the key: clean defense, correct timing, and controlled pressure throughout the entire game. Now, for this guide I did include all the basics, however I purposely excluded advanced techs, such as baiting their fireball to secure opposite lane, pressuring in triple to force their spells on defense, etc. This was done in order for the guide to be more newer players friendly. At the end of the day, it's all about execution, and by following basic principles, any X-bow player should be able to win this matchup. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know which matchup breakdown you would like to see next. That's all from me. See y'all next time.